Hello, 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 my content creators, and welcome to the regular meeting of the app. I am Eugene Bush, the founder and creator of this here said app, Content Creators, and I'm excited to bring you guys a super dope lesson today. I was having a discussion last week about timing, right? And a couple things about timing, which is critical. Let me just make sure that everything is live. I believe I'm live on YouTube. Yep. Okay, cool. Live on YouTube. Live on Facebook in the E-Tre Productions account there. And let me just make sure I'm going live in the app. Okay, all right. 3:14:22. Nope, that's not that. It's 3:15. Oh man, where is it? Sorry guys. Technical difficulties. Just making sure I am live within the app here. It says I cannot connect to the internet, not sure why. Oh. This kid is trying to connect to my camera. I don't want it to connect to my camera. I'll just turn Wi-Fi off. How about that? How about them apples? Wi-Fi, you go away. Close you. I'm opening Content Creators app. I'm going to the live content. It says I'm still not connected to the server. What is happening? Oh, I got plenty of space. All right. All right. Sorry, guys. I am trying to still see if I can make sure I'm still here and connected. Okay. Why is live content not coming up? Cannot connect to the server. All right, let me show you guys what I'm getting. You guys might as well troubleshoot this. I'll troubleshoot with this with you all. Okay, I'm opening QuickTime so I can show my phone. There it is. Awesome. Let me show you all what my phone looks like. Cool. There it is. And I was getting in here, so now I'm in the app. It was saying can't connect to the server for a second. But now when I hit live content, today's live is not there. It's supposed to say 3:15:22 live. It only says 3:8:22. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to restart. Yep, restarting here. I hit live content. Let me refresh somehow. Come on. I guess there's no easy way to refresh. Yo, that's crazy. It's supposed to be there, today's app. Okay, so it'll have to be there later, guys. My apologies. I'm so not certain why this is not coming up. But many of you may go back and watch this live later on. And so if you do that, then that's cool. You'll still get the lesson. All right. So let's just start off here. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about today was that timing is everything, right? I was having a discussion last week with a friend, and we were talking about the timing of kind of your career and just timing overall in life. And a lot of times I'm older, in my 40s, and a lot of times we think once we start getting older, we think time is running away from us. You know what I mean? And in reality, it's really you have to find those open windows. It's time is in your favor, right? But sometimes we need to, number one, be patient, but number two, recognize what timing and what season that we're in right now, right? So there's two things I want to cover today about timing is everything. One, I want you guys to recognize, truly just look at the signs, look at what's happening and seeing what are those open windows and those opportunities that are available to us today. And then the second thing is when it comes to your own content and getting your message out there, why is timing so critical? Like, why is this so key? All right. So the first point, timing being now, today, what's happening today, right? And if you haven't noticed, guys, there used to be a time where the only people that were famous were folks that were on TV. And not that fame is everything, right? When I'm saying famous, I'm saying people who are capable of getting attention. Those people who are able to make a impact, make a noise when, you know what I mean, like their voice is amplified. They're able to reach a lot of people, right? Typically, those people are on TV. They're either in the news, they're doing something major where news coverage wanted to cover them, or TV stations wanted to cover them, right? That used to be the case. Nowadays, that is not the case. You have people who are super famous and have never been on TV. You have people who are verified on Instagram, right? And check marks and everything else. And they're really famous in this digital world. And now, of course, with Meta and Facebook coming out with Meta and everything else like that, that's showing that there is a real push and a real emphasis and a real assets and emphasis put on this digital world, right? We have our real tangible world that you can touch and feel and see and everything else. And then you have this digital world, even by means of how you guys are connecting with me right now. There is this whole different world that the average person has access to, and you may not recognize it. Most people interact with this digital world, and they feel like they're interacting as a consumer. They have no control over what's happening. They're just experiencing everything. So you log on your Facebook and you're scrolling through your wall and you're experiencing other people's content. You're on your Instagram and you're logged into your wall and you're experiencing other people's content, right? Even when Instagram or TikTok, right, makes a feature enhancement, you're kind of reacting to that new feature. Oh, new filters here. Let me use that if you're even producing content. Or there's some new feature, right? Then let me use that new feature, right? And that's cool, but you have to understand if you're only reacting with the digital world in that consumer type mindset where you're only reacting and doing what's being shown to you, then you're limiting the capacity and what you're capable of doing in this digital world, right? You can be the author of what happens in this digital world. You can be the creator of things that happen in this digital world, right? So there are people who are creating NFTs and they're making a ton of money with these new digital assets. There are people who are investing in Bitcoin, this new digital currency, right? There are people who, so they're getting their money up that way. There are people who are creating land and buying land in this digital world, right? I myself have bought an app that allows me to connect digitally to people, and I'm building a digital community, right, if you will. But in essence, you have to recognize the signs of the times, that today, in today's age, you have the capability of interacting and controlling and creating in this digital world. So that means that before you would need a lot of people, whether that was a DP, a crew, a studio, some kind of large corporation, something to get behind you in order for you to make an impact, to amplify your voice. Now with the digital world, if you play your cards right and you're consistent and do the things that I've been teaching you all within this app, if you can be a producer within this digital world, you can then amplify your voice and control your narrative and create the world you want to create in this new digital world. All right. I would go so far as to say that the people who don't connect in this digital world will be left behind. What do I mean? Those businesses, people who refuse to get on the internet, right? I remember the time, so I'm old enough to remember when there was uh, rotary phones, right? Or, landlines where you actually had a phone in somebody's house, right? I remember the coming of age of cell phones. Well, I also remember that there were people who would look at the cell phone and be like, I'm not getting on that. The government's going to be able to track you. That's just another way for them to get a hold of you, right? I'm not doing that. Okay? And I can also say today, 15, 20 years later, however long that was, maybe 30 years, however long that was, ago, where we used to have cell phones. Again, I was in high school. If you don't have a cell phone, if you're not touchable and reachable in that regard, you are left behind, right? You are not able to connect at the speed and the capacity that the world is connecting, right? And we're not talking about a cell phone where you're using social media and everything else. We're just talking about just a cellular phone where you can walk around, mobile phone, where you can walk out the house, get in your car and dial, right? If you're not on a cell phone, you've been left behind. Okay? I would also say I remember I was old enough where there was a time where people had video cameras and their cameras were on tape. We used to tape on 3CCD camera, but on mini DV tapes, right? I would say if you're doing any kind of video content today and you are taping on a mini DV tape or VCR, or if you're still making DVDs, you're going to be left behind because the world is moved to streaming. They're streaming all of their content. All the content is streaming through an app. Now, there are DVDs, right? But how many VHS tapes are you going to find? Now, sure, they may bring back VHS tapes like they brought back record players, right? But they're considered vintage. It's a cool item to have. It is not something you have that allows you to connect today in today's digital world, right? It's a sign of the time. Okay? The actors, right? Oh no, last point. Businesses. If you're a business and you don't have a website, you're going to be left behind. Because most businesses or consumers, when they're going to somebody to buy something, number one, a lot of people are buying on Amazon. If you haven't figured that out, they're buying digitally, especially after COVID, right? Now, a lot of people, even more than before, are buying stuff digitally and have it being sent to their house. Less and less people are getting out the house, going to the mall, going actually shopping, right? Like we used to do, right? Because everything is digital, okay? People are connecting digitally. Now, I say all that to say when it comes to my actors and my entertainers, I'm going out on a limb here, right? Because I've literally had this argument. People have said to me, Eugene, acting and real acting and TVs and studios is never going away. And I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's never going away. But I am saying if actors don't get on, like real actors who are seasoned and want their career to enhance, if real actors don't get on social media and start marketing themselves digitally, those real actors will see themselves like the businesses left behind. They will see themselves like the rotary phones, like the businesses with websites, like, right? They will see themselves left behind because you've got to conform and take advantage of this digital age, right? And the only reason you would want to do that, like you would not do that, is because you're either stuck in your ways or you're refusing to change, because with the cell phone, it makes it so easy. Not just a cell phone, with the ContentCreators app that's on your cell phone. It's so easy for you to follow some instructions, be creative, follow some trends, and do your own content, right? There's really no excuse for it not to happen. So, if this is the first time you're hearing that, then sorry to be the prophet to bust your bubble. But everybody who's trying to connect with people or connect with businesses have to recognize the signs of the times. And the signs of the times are everything is moving digitally. Things are moving into this digital world, and if you're not plugged in, if you're not connected, if you don't know how to connect, if you don't know how to be creative or how to translate your stories into this digital format, you will be left behind. Point blank. All right? So, with that said, the next part of timing. With the digital world and all the social media stuff, that's my gloom and doom message was that before. The good news is you have the full advantage that if you recognize sign of times and you say, I want to move into that world, into that realm, that you can also, you've got to also pay attention to the timing of the trends, right? So there's, with how digital media is happening today and happening now, the folks who are really getting views and getting hits are either trendsetters, so they've gotten their content out there and people are now know them for their content, or trend users. All right, those are folks who recognize a trend, can get in that trend early, and ride that trend up. Right. So what I mean, it's just like when you buy a stock or buy a house. Right. It's always better to buy a home low. Right. Wait for the community to get developed. Right. As the price is on the rise, and you will receive the advantage of buying it low, and then the property value rises and you get that advantage, right? It's called equity. In stocks, if you buy a stock low at a price, a low stock price, and then you wait over time, that stock price goes up and you receive that equity, that difference. You receive that, right? Well, there's digital equity. If you get into a trend early, the trend's going to continue to rise. More people see it. More time it goes around it. So if you get to a trend early, you can over time receive that digital equity, that time that it takes, right? And that's real. That equity, digital equity, turns into attention, which done right can turn into money. Okay, if you're not really doing this for the end result, right, you just want the attention, then this probably is not the channel for you. It's probably not the page or app for you, right? The people who generally get the most out of the Content Creators app and out of what we're doing here are the folks who have an end goal, right? They have either a mission they're trying to get out there, they have a product they're trying to push, a service that they want people to know about, their art they want folks to know about. They're trying to connect with more people in their art. There's the end goal, right? And the end goal can be achieved faster digitally than it can in person, right? What do I mean by that? And we'll get back to timing. I went to the mall, and I've done this a couple times now, where I'll go in the mall and I see a business. And what sparked it was for me is as I was walking out the mall, this business comes to me, this lady selling some products or whatever, comes to me and she says, oh my God, hey, would you mind buying my product? It was a little bag of something. And I was like, okay, what is it? And she's like, oh, some, hair products, whatever she was selling. And I was like, sure, I'll take a look at it. And then she gave me the price and I was like, yeah, I'm just really not willing to spend that much for that product. And she was like, okay, and thank you, and start to walk away. And I was like, hold on. Do you have an Instagram? And she's like, oh, yeah, our Instagram is, and she threw it out. I don't even remember what it was. And then she was like, but thank you. And her mission was off to get the next person, the next hustle. And that's when it hit me. This queen would have been better off had she been smart and understood the sign of the times. Had she been smart and understood that you can connect with more people digitally than you ever can in person, she'd have had a better chance saying, when I asked her, what's your Instagram, is to have me pull out my phone and go to her Instagram, make sure I connect with her on Instagram. Furthermore, she could have said, well, I know you didn't buy it, but would you love to, I would love your support. That costs nothing. Could you just take a photo and maybe put on your story, right? Tag our website in it, right? And let people know that, hey, I couldn't support today, but these are really nice people and maybe you can support. Now, if she'd have done that, that one interaction with me could have turned into hundreds of interactions digitally. The hundreds of interactions digitally could have turned into 4, 5, maybe 10 sales. Maybe, right? But the fact that she put no emphasis on the digital world whatsoever, she left so much money and opportunity on the table, right? And that's what I want to bring to you all is, is don't leave money and opportunity on the table, right? I'm going to close this app because I'm not even using it. I'm just talking to you all today. Okay. Don't leave so much money on the table, right? And people are leaving money on the table by not using and effectively initiating that digital transaction. Okay, another example. I walked into a business called Broadcast Hub, and I'm going to be posting their video soon. They do digital technology. They sell cameras, they sell gimbals, they sell all that stuff. Okay, so this is what they do. Like, their clients are me. I'm a loyal Broadcast Hub customer, right? And so they are servicing people who are making digital content, but they themselves have a very small digital presence. So I go in there and I show them the app and I tell them, hey, if you're able to do trends, that would be amazing. You guys can get the benefit of doing these trends. Now, hits and views are relative, right? So we'll get to that in a moment. But they knew that, but they didn't really know how to implement it. So I went through with the app I went through in the app with them and showed them the community and showed them how you can go to the community, you can go to the trends, and you can see what's trending this week. Okay? And they were so super excited about that. And actually, since I'm here, might as well show you that. So I go to the community at the bottom. At the community, it says weekly hot trends. Now I know I got comments in here. Oh my God. All right, so I'm obviously having some internet issues. What? Let's see if this updated yet. That did not update. All right. Well, in here, this is not working right now. I think it's because of I don't have my Wi-Fi is tripping and I have low bars. So I'm having internet issues on my phone. But in there are the trends. You'll see a list of the trends that are in there. And so what we did was we went just to the first trend, clicked on the first trend, and it was like a struggle video. And so the idea is that you're going to take that trend and figure out, how do I make this trend my own? How do I customize it in such a fashion that speaks to my audience, speaks to what's authentic within me? How do I do that, right, within this app? And the way you do that is, right after you do the trend, you go into there, it opens up, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, that's where we focus, short form content. So it opens up TikTok, and we did that with them. It actually opened up their TikTok platform, and we did a video right there, right? Now, they had all the equipment, right? So when we did the video, I was like, hey, so what would be something somebody's struggling with? And I was actually in there to buy a gimbal. So I was like, oh, well, usually people struggle with cameras, like holding cameras. That's why I'm here to buy a gimbal. They're like, yeah, absolutely. So I was like, hey, do you have a heavy camera? They're like, yes, we got one. Do you have a gimbal? Yeah, we got one. Do you have lights? Right, because we want the thing to be bright. So yeah, we got lights. So they brought all of this stuff. They had everything there to make the video. They just never put it together. They never recognized the sign of the times. They never prioritized digital assets and build that digital equity. Okay, so we did the video right there. It took us 10 minutes to do the video, and then we waited about 20 minutes. Now, when we came back to the video after they posted it 20 minutes later, we come back and they had, roughly at that point, less than 100 views. It was like 65 views, something to that effect. But the crazy part is they were like, 65? That's more people than we would talk to in a day, number one. Number two, that's also 65. That's more hits than we've ever received on any video. Now, that's amazing because my videos generally get way more than that, right? And so I was looking at that video like, sheesh, this did nothing. That was a flop, right? But they had never done that. They don't get that kind of engagement. And so I'm going to see if I can actually go to the video. Wow, see, Instagram's not even working. It is so crazy. No, off. Okay, So 953 views. You guys see that? It's that top video there. All right. 953 views, and they have 6 comments. I just picked up my gimbal today. That was me. Brought my running from y'all. Oh, Mr. Wi-Fi will fly there. Said he bought his Ronin from Broadcast Hub, right? But so let's look at Broadcast Hub's results. Yep, so 953. They typically get 144, 11, 265. They got 1,000 on one video, right? But 409, okay? And they only have 1,000 followers, right? So this is a really good video for them, right? Now for us, for me, it took 10 minutes to do, right? It literally took no time to do this. And it just took them recognizing the sign of the times. Like, yo, I can get a whole lot more eyes and attention on a video that takes me 10 minutes to do than I can talking to everybody that walks in the store every day. Not only that, they're also building up their digital equity. This video is going to last forever on their page. So as future people come to their page, they can always go back and the views on this video will continue to rise, right? So you also memorialize a moment. You memorialize a time. You open yourself up also to the audience of the person that's in the video. So if you want to do a video with someone, do some collaborations, it allows you to then get the attention of their audience, right? And so even if you don't have a large audience, get with somebody who does have a large audience. Now, large is relative also, right? I've got 20,000 followers on Instagram at the time of this video. But I've got other folks and friends who are in the hundreds of thousands, also in the millions, right? And so large is relative. Get with someone who's got more, at least get with someone who has the number of followers that you do or more followers than you do, in order to grow your account, to get access to their following, right? So I say all that to say that them recognizing that the timing of today allows you to connect with more people digitally than you ever would in person should convince you, or at least give you motivation to start doing more digital content, right? You've got to see that the times have changed and it's only going more further digital, right? Things aren't slowing down and reverting back to now in person. We're still social distancing, right? COVID has changed the world. It hasn't slowed down, right? Or put the world on pause. No, it changed it, right? We were moving into more of a digital world and methods to connect digitally, and COVID just expedited that. So much so, I was working with an artist. I'm actually in a studio right now in Nashville, right? My man G-Ball, right? I'm in his studio doing this because we're doing content for Tari and her album that's coming out, right? And she even recognized it. She's like, you used to be able to make money on selling songs, like selling CDs, or people used to buy songs. Now, with the world the way it is, people are only streaming songs. It's really hard to make money on music. You really got to make your money. You got to use the music as advertisement to make your money another way. So you got to either get booked as an artist, right? Find speak engagements, whatever, merch, right? There are other ways there are plenty of other ways on how you can make money as an artist, but you've got to, as a musical artist, but you've got to do that. And the more you do it digitally, the more advantageous that is for you, right? And so you've got to learn that digital voice. You've got to learn and work that digital muscle, right, in order to get that up. It isn't automatic. It's not just easy to turn on the camera and saying, "Hey, I'm live. I've got a video," right? It takes a little bit of skill, but all of that can be attained in the Content Creators app. So with that said, that's all I have. And my laptop's about to die. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can even get my charger fast enough. Okay, I'm back. And let's try to plug this in and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Aha. 3%. Okay. All right, I'm back. Maybe I'm in focus. Cool. Back in focus. Okay, back in action. All right. So the ultimate thing, going back to the sign of the times, guys, it's you can really take advantage of where we are, right? All of these things can be attained and learned in the Content Creators app, right? I go live once a week where I'm giving lessons like this. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions, get things answered, right? You can see who else is in the app, in the community. Not only do I post up trends, but different people may post their trends in there, right? And we encourage all of you in the app to do that as well, to be interactive, right? So we're building a community of people who have recognized that this is the time and I can do this, right? And I really want to take advantage of that, right? The digital age, and build me some digital equity, right? We're building a community of like-minded people who want the same results and to use what they have in order to get what they want. Okay, so that's why we have the app, and so we encourage you guys to get in here to learn. Right, make sure you watch the Let's Go Viral course that's in the Learn section, and let me just go there to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so in the Learn section right there, you guys see that there will be the Let's Go Viral course. Right, make sure you take that course. Coming up, we're going to have a producer's course. Producer's course is already in there. For those folks who want to get more deeply involved with video and how do you create your own narrative kind of features. So whether it's a short film or a feature film, you want to do more storytelling digitally, and whether you're shooting with your phone or you're shooting with a DSLR or something even higher end, that's what the producer's course is for. Maggie B, my wife, is writing. She's now full-time at Tyler Perry Studios. She's a writer, so she's going to come to the course. That's what's coming up. We haven't got that in there yet. That's coming up. And then the live content, which still hasn't updated with today. Okay, so the Learn is where you get a lot of resources on a regular basis that we're going to be updating to stay abreast of what's happening, right? I am a producer. I'm an active producer where I am producing today. Okay, we're literally working on videos today. Like, this is actually what I do every day. So with this app, with me as your coach, you're not getting a theory of video. You're not getting the best practices 5 years ago. You're literally getting current, today, up to date, right now, to the minute best practices. Okay, and the point of this video and the best practice of this video is I hope you guys walk away with knowing that timing is everything, and this is the time for you to ramp up on your digital muscle, right? Ramp up on your digital assets, ramp up on your skill set to how to translate everything you're doing into a digital format. Okay, here to help. Hope you guys stay connected, and I will see you all next week, and hopefully not have as many app issues at that point. But please like, share, comment. Guys, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you learned anything. Let me know if this is encouraging at all. Share this video with someone who you think may need to take advantage of this digital world. Make sure you share this app, the content, with them, and I will see you all on the next live. Thank you. Peace.